So welcome back. I just revealed all the trade secrets, but it was on mute, so I don't know. But we have a special guest, Stephanie Villa, also known as Soothing Sista, also known as Sista to Ashley. She is our special fashion correspondent, as we have been receiving outfits of the day through our hashtag Rare Day 2021 and a Rare Day outfit of the day. And we're gonna play some for you as we give our expert commentary.
This is gonna be like Fashion Police, but the new version.
Right. We're gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice.
The positive version.
Oh, this is, she's using
the stickers.
the stickers.
Oh yeah, you guys, use our Rare Day stickers. Search a Rare Day in your Giphy stickers on IG stories.
Yeah, those only took 3 months to get approved. So hope everyone uses those and loves them.
Actually, from last year.
Yes, actually tell them the truth.
Actually,
tell them the truth.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even know that they were approved.
Last year we had our amazing collaborator and designer Jean animate these super cool stickers, and we were waiting for months, and we didn't make it in time for the last Rare Day.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden we were
so
magically
cute.
approved this Rare Day, so that's why we got stickers.
Okay,
Thanks,
next
Jean.
one. Okay. Sorry guys, it's kind of far away, so we can't see exactly but okay, so she's got an amazing checkered blouse and a black and white blazer.
Honestly, I really am very into the contrast.
The checkers on
it's almost like business and then like a touch of street race car chic. I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw this, but now I want to get that blouse.
A moment of,
drop the links.
A moment of Kiwi Herman as well, which I very much enjoy.
What's that? Oh my god, am I so old?
Keep us up to date.
That's like older than you, bro. Oh, okay.
Older than us? No one's older than us.
Oh my god. And I'm also loving the super professional part in the middle. I like love it. And then the low bun, I feel like that's so easy for any Zoom. You can like quickly throw up.
I only recently learned you have to do your bangs, split them, then do the thing, and then like blend it in together.
Wow, did you learn it from one of your clients?
I've learned it on YouTube, and I still can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, we're at the next one right now.
Aww. Okay, so this is like a new look that I see a lot of our interns sporting, because I always ask the interns what's new and improve. Like this like little cropped bustier with a blazer over it. I'm now okay with that being work appropriate. Used to be a little more formal at Rare Global, but I'm okay with that now. Even like some cute little shorts, like those like business attire, like short, not too short. Okay. Still keep it professional.
This is a big deal because
Katrina, Emily, Megan.
In the employee handbook, it specifically said no crop tops and no shorts.
I'm like okay with the bustier, like as long as it's so cute. Like I guess as long as you're cute. Like look, as long as
you look cute,
as long as you look cute. Okay?
Yeah.
Like make it work. Otherwise, don't.
Okay, we got the next one here. Okay.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Oh, also, this is my cousin, Mayan.
In yoga gear.
In yoga gear, but she's still at a Rare Day.
Yeah. And honestly, probably most of the women watching today are just chilling at home, comfortable and learning. And that's all that matters is you showed up at this point. So you show up and like represent yourself. Yeah. And that's what these women are doing. So we really just wanted to say shout out to our community. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for dressing up. And thanks for being a part of our community.
And we've been checking into the chat. The chat is going off. We love it. Like we've never been able to interact with you guys during a Rare Day.
Yeah.
So I feel like digital is our format.
Yeah. Should we just never go back to in-person events? Because I kind of like being digital. I miss the hugs.
We do miss you guys. We do.
I miss the hugs, but I also like the fact that, we can have someone from El Salvador. What was that? Okay. And then I guess they're going to play a video for us.
Oh yeah, actually, so I just showed everyone a really sweet video that my friend Simona posted on her Instagram. And I think it really embodies the messaging of a Rare Day. So I thought we could watch it right now.
Happy Saturday, y'all. I have been spending today attending my first ever virtual conference, aka the Be Rare Foundation virtual conference. I think a lot of people think that like being an Instagram baddie or like a content creator that does like makeup and beauty is just all about like posting and looking cute, and that's really it. But at the end of the day, this is definitely like business, and if you want to take it seriously, you have to have a business mindset. And this conference has literally been so informative. There's so many people literally behind the scenes that do things like attorneys and talent agents and other creators. There's a whole chat going on with other creators. Like, it's been super educational, and y'all know I'm here for a good education. I have 2 master's degrees, as I talk about, so obviously education is nothing new to me. And whenever I go into anything, any field or anything, I really want to get as much education on it as possible so I can do the absolute best that I can. And this conference has been amazing.
Oh my God. The energy. Thank you so
I
much.
really felt like that really just is exactly how I feel, and I think so many other people feel about a rare day. So thank you both so much. These are my big sisters.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah, it makes me feel like it makes it all the work that we put into this event like so worth it, and all the time that all the women and the panelists and the speakers and the presenters who spend part of their Saturday, contributing, it makes it worth it because we give back to the community and everyone's learning something. So couldn't really ask for more than that.
Okay, Stephanie, now you gotta go.
Okay, roll.
I'm just gonna
roll out of roll. Okay, don't mess with the sound. Don't cover the sound.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
This is not a fully professional set. Okay, not everything is down.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Okay, so we're so excited to introduce the ladies on the next panel. It's our female founders panel called How to Start, and most importantly, How to Keep Going.
This is one of our most popular panels, and we've done it every year at this point. It is the place where if you want to start a brand, if you want to learn tips and tricks for business, you go here and you watch this panel, because it's like all of the baddest women who are starting their own brands, already have launched, amazing brands, are launching, have continued to succeed, are on this panel. And I mean, I'm going to listen because I want to learn from all the ladies in this panel, especially, And so I'll introduce our moderator, XiXi Yang, journalist extraordinaire. She's an award-winning entertainment journalist, co-founder and CEO of XYZ Media, and also, talent and influencer as well. Named Yahoo Finance's top entrepreneur of 2020 and a millennial media trailblazer by Forbes. ZZ. It's XiXi. I keep calling her ZZ, even on the phone. Sorry, XiXi. And I'm Chinese too, so I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, she's watched by over 98 million households nationwide on CNN, HLN, and has over 28 million views digitally across her show, Pop News Edition, and her women entrepreneurship blog, XiXiYang.com. As the first female entertainment journalist to anchor live from the red carpet, and I love her live from the red carpet, I love her outfits, solo from the Oscars and Grammys, XiXi has brought millions of viewers around the world live coverage to the Associated Press. In 2017, XiXi joined CNN and HLN as an entertainment contributor. As a beauty and fashion entrepreneur and influencer, XiXi has served as a global ambassador for Fortune 500 brands like Verizon, Macy's, Condé Nast, and more. She's been featured in Forbes, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Vogue. XiXi has been invited as honorary speaker at so many universities and schools, including Yale and Harvard.
Man, that one made me sweat. That was rather epic. So let me introduce the ladies on the panel. We have Jenny Qian, CEO and co-founder of NEWNESS. Jenny is the co-founder of NEWNESS, a live streaming platform for the beauty community. Before NEWNESS, Jenny spent 4.5 years at Twitch, helping to grow the community from 100 employees to over 1,500 employees. She founded and led 3 business departments and was named Forbes 30 Under 30 for her contributions. She is a proud dog mom and retired momager of Wilbur and Harold. And she also has 2 adorable French bulldogs. And we love NEWNESS TV.
Yeah.
It introduced us to a new type of platform that we...
Yeah, I watched an amazing tutorial that Jenny posted a couple weeks ago.
And it's inspired some of the stuff that we've been doing at A Rare Day Digital, because we needed some place to start, and they've been doing such a good job. And our next panelist is Olamide Olowe, CEO and founder of Topicals. She is a recent graduate of the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, where she was a pre-med student and received a BA in political science with a concentrate in race, ethnicity, and politics, and a minor in entrepreneurship. I don't know anything more needed. That's the field of expertise there. And in 2015, Olamide co-founded the beauty brand Shea Girl in partnership with Shea Moisture. Sundial Brands, parent company of Shea Girl, was later acquired by Unilever in 2017. Currently, she is the founder and CEO of Topicals, a skincare company transforming the way people feel about skin through effective products for eczema and hyperpigmentation. She spent 2 years pitching topicals to over 100 investors before securing $2.6 million in funding, making her the youngest Black woman ever to raise over $1 million. I just got goosebumps.
I did too. That sounds weird.
Topicals currently retails at Sephora and the Topicals website. She's received notable recognition from Harvard Business School, I'm getting more goosebumps, Google,
Yeah.
Pac-12, and UCLA alumni.
And a supporter of the Be Rare Foundation last year as well. I remember her like toting her stuff, showing everyone all the amazing, products that she had. And I was like, what is this brand?
That was a different brand. She had a different brand then, and she's a serial brand starter. We love it. And oh my gosh, introducing Stella, a longtime friend of myself and Ashley personally, and also of our business.
I've got lots of Stella jewelry on. You
Yeah.
can't see it, it's under here.
Yeah. Stella is the co-founder of HAATI and AMARILO. She is the visionary behind the heirloom jewelry line HAATI, as well as co-designing its sister line AMARILO. It's a lust-worthy line, and make no mistake, it truly is. It incorporates hints of East meets West and represents her heritage, culture, and journey towards self-discovery. As the voice of the brand, she partners with various organizations that shed light on issues close to her heart, epitomizing the importance of allowing your passion to guide your process and fostering an authentic and impactful connection with both your products and your audience. Her blog is also an intimate look into other aspects of her life, which influence her design and define her lifestyle.
And I would say Stella does this amazing job at not only being a founder, but killing it at her own personal.
Her content feed is crazy.
Like Stella, honestly, you inspire me. I try to have better content, managing talent. I had for a little bit there, like more of like a personal Instagram.
Ashley has
and I've
upgraded
really
her game.
tried my best to get on your level. Like you got to shoot, you got to plan your content, you got to have things to say.
The thing is,
not easy.
Stella does it herself, though. That's the.
I do know myself.
That's the rub. Glam team and all though. And then next is Camila Pierotti, founding partner of a small brand called Sol de Janeiro, which is obviously a huge cult brand.
Slathering on
Yeah.
the butter.
Also, a longtime supporter of A Rare Day since day one with their full-size products. I feel like the Sol de Janeiro products was one of the first products where I noticed that like our gift bag is lit because the product was
it's
so big.
One of the years, because I remember I met her co-founder Gila at back in the day Soho House. We met up. It was an amazing meeting. She told me about the products because the Bum Bum cream is like the OG, like amazing cream. And like since then, every time someone sees in our gift bag that like they're like, oh. This year it was actually the hair conditioner, which everyone was like, oh my god, I can't believe like now I get to try this, and like they're so excited. And then even actually Christina Woody Train, who spoke earlier, she said that now she can only use.
Whoops, I can only use.
Yeah, since she's tried it. But anyway.
So a little bit about Camila. She was born and bred in Brazil. She has 15 plus years of experience in the beauty industry, where she has been a key player in the success of the celebrated beauty brand, Sol de Janeiro. Its life-changing hero product, the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream, which has achieved cult icon status, 100%, has been known to sell out in minutes and has garnered more than 3,000 perfect views from Sephora customers. Upon graduating from Georgetown University, she held positions in global marketing for some of the top prestige brands in the beauty industry, including Clinique and NUDESTIX. And last but not least, Taylor Frankel, co-founder of NUDESTIX. Taylor,
who we work with at Rare Global quite a bit. So excited to have Taylor. We've never actually met in person or been on anything together, but I'm so happy to meet you.
A Rare Day is a good place to meet the people that you admire as well. She's the co-founder of NUDESTIX. She embodies the easygoing ideals of the millennial generation and serves as the natural inspiration to her mother, Jenny Frankel, who developed the brand. Growing up surrounded by beauty, Taylor was always drawn to the industry, where she now actively serves as the Chief Inspiration Officer, such a good title, and the brand spokesperson for NUDESTIX. Taylor leads the NUDESTIX team in launching the brand worldwide and continues to be an inspiration to her generation and an advocate for Love is Louder, a movement by the Jed Foundation to support anyone feeling mistreated, misunderstood, or alone.
Aww.
And those are our badass ladies.
Yeah,
those
it's almost like too many to have in one room. I'm
sweating again.
But we really wanted to run the breadth of brands from someone starting to get venture capital money, and then maybe someone who's already launched the brand and run the brand for quite a bit of time. I think that we have put together quite a robust group of ladies at this point. So
who know a lot.
Yeah, let's let them talk now. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Also, ask questions in the chat. Okay, on to you, on to the stars. Bye.
Enjoy.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Ashley, Vania. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the amazing introduction. I have to say, you ladies look absolutely incredible. Love the fashion. And even though I may look professional and ready on top, look at my slippers. This is what we got going on for the Zoom chat. My name is XiXi Yang, and I am honestly so psyched to be here moderating this panel, Female Founders, How to Start, and most importantly, how to keep it going. I have been a huge fan of Be Rare Foundation, Rare Global. I've been hearing about Rare Day for years, wonderful buzz, and I'm just so beyond honored to participate this year and to lead a conversation of so many powerful female bosses behind some of your favorite brands in fashion, beauty, media. I'm so excited to join the conversation with Jenny, Stella, Camila, Taylor, Olamide. So kicking off, I know so many of our viewers who are watching right now either want to find out ways of how they can grow a personal brand or to turn that light bulb idea they have in their mind into a company, not just any company, but a company that is actually profitable and successful. And I couldn't be more honored to moderate this conversation and throw out our first question, which is, ladies, where was that turning point in your life when you decided to just go for it, start the journey, create the company, and take that leap of faith? Do you remember that pivotal moment in your life or career? I'm going to start with Jenny.
Hi. I feel like I need to introduce my fuzzy slipper as well. I'm part of the club. It is so lovely to meet you all. I think for me, the pivotal moment was just, it happened, not in any specific moment, but over a course of time. One of the things that I was thinking back on was just, if there's an idea that you have that you absolutely cannot get out of your head and you just keep thinking about it again and again and again, and that's what ended up happening to me for like months on end. I just couldn't get this idea out of my head. That was when I kind of realized, okay, I think there's something here. I must be the person that like really needs to go out and do this. Otherwise, I'm going to really regret not taking that opportunity or not taking that leap of faith. And that was kind of what ultimately caused me to jump.
That's so great. And it's so amazing to see everything that you've been able to do with NEWNESS, from getting funding on board to creating this live streaming platform for digital, a lot of digital influencers, a lot of content creators. Stella, what was that moment for you when you decided to just go ahead and launch your businesses?
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be speaking with all of you, and I love this question. So like Jenny, I too felt like it was a bunch of small moments throughout my life that really pushed me to be that, like, in that place where I felt now it's time to launch this idea that's been just like harvesting. So I'm East Indian, but I'm first generation American. And I really felt that there wasn't any products or brands at the time when I launched my brand that really spoke to who I am as a person. And it just so happened that I really loved jewelry, and that was my medium for really understanding who I was as an individual. So naturally, I started the company, but to offer people really beautiful designs. But at the same time, there was this big narrative with, helping people learn to embrace their journey of self-love and also just become confident in their skin.
I love that. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers are just like me, huge fans of your jewelry brand. Love the heirloom jewelries. Love how it plays into the heritage. Woohoo, gotta represent. Camila, what about you? Huge brand. And I gotta confess, I love my Bum Bum cream.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm just gonna say one thing. It's pronounced boom boom.
Boom boom.
Boom boom means butt in Portuguese, and it's our favorite body part because Brazilians love their boom boom. We love curves. But I just have to say that I had a very similar journey to Jenny and Stella. It wasn't an overnight light bulb that all of a sudden came to me. It was definitely a process. And I remember that time very well. It was probably about an 8-month process when Gila and I were working on this for fun on the weekend. And everything, our message came together. So it was so crystal clear to us what we wanted to do. So, before we had any product, we put together our brand manifesto. This is, if we were to launch a brand, this would be our message. And yeah, it was probably that process of working on the weekends and realizing, I believe in this and we can do this.
I love that. We definitely need that dose of inspiration, right? What about you, Taylor? Talk to us a little bit about your experience co-founding, being the Chief Inspiration Officer of NUDESTIX.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be on this panel with such incredible female founders. So I would say my story is quite similar. My journey was a little bit different in the sense that, I guess was surrounded by beauty for a very long time. My mom, Jenny, she's a chemical engineer. She actually started a previous company called Cover FX when my sister and I were literally in diapers. So she's like the OG female, I think she was one of the only females to graduate from her chemical engineering degree. This was, over 20 years ago. But in the year 2014, she actually had this 2-year non-compete. And this was her moment to just be a full-time mom, kind of inhale my sister and I, and that's how she kind of words it. And throughout this time, it was really a matter of us identifying the market and really out of a need to solve a problem. And for us, our problem was we couldn't find any makeup products that felt, authentic to us, which was easy, fast, effortless, less is more. We wanted products that just made us feel good and made us feel confident in our own skin without spending hours or spending an insane amount of dollars either on our beauty products. We wanted it to be accessible. We wanted it to be, also approachable. And that's really where the inspiration behind NUDESTIX came from. And I would say it was really a matter of, 2 years, firstly, of kind of identifying what is our niche market, what is our messaging. And then it was actually over a span of 2 to 3 months where my sister, my mom, and I all came together and we said, wait a second, there's this really big white space. We obviously had to do a little bit of research, which was a combination of identifying, where the market was, what brands were missing, combined with, what we felt inherently ourselves and what we were super passionate about. So it was a mix of the emotional, okay, we really feel passionate about this brand and what, this white space, combined with doing our research and saying, okay, these are the brands that currently exist. If we do launch this brand, is there a need for it? And is there a consumer for it? And that's kind of what took us to launch. And we had a few months of just developing ideation and really developing kind of Camila said, the manifesto. And then we went to market with product and that was kind of how it came to be.
I love that. And last but not least, we have Olamide. Hey girl, talk to us about your journey with Topicals.
Yeah, it's been really fun, but it didn't always start as fun. I grew up with a ton of chronic skin conditions and the ones that people weren't talking about. So I had boils, I had ingrown hairs, I had the things, again, that people really weren't talking about. We didn't see this in our favorite Disney show. People weren't talking about having these conditions. And grew up really inspired by beauty, but didn't know that you could make it into a career until I got to college. I was a pre-med student at UCLA and really wanted to kind of grow up and be a dermatologist, but fell into the beauty world. I co-created a beauty brand in partnership with Shea Moisture with one of my good friends, Rochelle Dennis. And we spent 2 years while we were in undergrad pitching to retailers, really understanding the market, particularly for multicultural consumers. And at the time in 2015, a lot of people weren't seeing the need for products that were really geared for people of color. And we got really excited to create that brand and we launched it digitally and learned everything about social media. And then when that brand got acquired through the Sundial acquisition, I decided that I wanted to go back and build something again, but this time in that space where people weren't talking about these skin conditions, chronic skin conditions. And so that's how Topicals came to be. It was a mix of my pre-med background with studying to become a dermatologist and also just looking at the market and seeing how there were so many fun brands for in the skincare aisle, but then when you looked in the ointment aisle, there wasn't a brand that anyone really had an emotional affinity to. And so that's what Topicals came to be.
So incredible. And as I'm hearing all of your journeys, I'm literally getting goosebumps all over my arms. I know how much hard work, dedication truly goes into, starting with an idea, manifesting what you want to do, but laying out specific action steps to get you from point A to point B to eventually launching the company, scaling the growth, and so forth. I think our next question is something that is really near and dear to my heart, because I feel like the social media generation, oftentimes we glamorize how fabulous it is to be an entrepreneur, when in reality, I'll be honest, I don't look like this Monday through Friday. I got no lashes on, no makeup on. I'm like on my couch at the desk doing taxes, filing paperwork. And I'm going to open the question to the floor here. What would you say is the hardest part of your job, or a challenge that before you got into entrepreneurship, you really didn't know that you had to overcome?
I'll start. So for me, one of myself and my partner, one of the things that was the most difficult for us, being that we're more so artists at heart, is when it came time to expanding our team. That was something that we were totally unprepared for. We become more seasoned for it, but understanding who you need to bring into your team is so important, because it's like a puzzle and they help you either move forward or you just don't progress. So definitely that's been one of the hardest parts of taking on this entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah, it's so true. Who we have on our team is truly so important. And when you're running a business that has employees, sometimes you have to wear multiple hats, right? Juggling, working within the business, and also being a spokesperson for it while growing it, doing a lot of a lot of deals. Next question. How did you ladies decide when to get an investor on board, or did you choose to start the business as a bootstrap business in the beginning? Where was that? How did you decide?
I'll hop in. I knew from day one that we needed investors. One, because the conditions that we're going after and trying to create products for were conditions that were going to require more testing. They were going to require more research. And so we wanted to make sure that when we got to market, it wasn't just a product that we had just made, really quickly. We wanted to make sure that there was a lot of love and care and a lot of science behind the product. And so that's why I knew that we wanted to get an investor. The second thing is that we wanted to create a brand experience that felt really different and authentic than what we were seeing on the market, particularly for chronic skin conditions. And we knew that that also would take a bit of capital.
I love that. And how were those pitch meetings with investors? I'm sure, it's a numbers game, but oftentimes, there are so many entrepreneurs, when they knock on a few doors with venture capitalists, investors, angel investors, sometimes for the first few rounds they get denied. How do you keep pushing through the bump?
Yeah, I think a lot of the women on this panel would also speak similarly, that there are actually very few women in beauty. A lot of people think that there's a ton of women, but there are very few Fortune 500 CEOs that are women. And a lot of the largest brands aren't helmed by women. So I think when you're going out to pitch an investor or a vendor or a partner, I think a lot of times people doubt women and they don't see our vision because they're not the target customer. And so I'm sure anyone else on the panel can speak to not even just investors, but any kind of partners you try to take on where maybe you're not taken as serious the first time you go out to pitch.
I would agree. I would agree 100%. I would say not only being like a female founder, but being like a young female founder, as most of the ladies here on the panel are. I think, when someone looks at, yourself, obviously as a female, but also from an age perspective, they somewhat doubt the experience and kind of the knowledge that you have within the industry. One of the things that I kind of took with me, whether it's, a board meeting with certain investors to even like a retail meeting with Sephora, and you're sitting with, beauty executives that have been, working, in the industry for over 20 years, it's really, what kind of keeps me going is the fact that I know my brand better than anyone, and really coming in with that confidence, and also being really confident in your, who your market is, who your customer is, and that better than anyone else. And I think that if you go into an investor meeting, obviously, you know, at first it's really difficult to kind of really solidify those meetings. But I think when you do find the right investor, then they will have that trust in you, and they will, you know, really trust your story and trust your kind of, you know, I think also numbers don't lie as well. Like when you present something where it's quite factual, you have the research in front of you, you have the data in front of you, you have the white space, and having a really great kind of marketing deck and financial deck where, you know, they look at it and they say, okay, you know, this makes sense. I think that's really important. And then obviously being a founder that's really passionate about your brand, and really storytelling. I think storytelling is really key because at the end of the day, you know, all of us are very familiar with the beauty industry. There's so many brands out there, but one thing they can't take away from you is your story. And I think all of the women on this panel can say the same thing, is that everyone has a very unique point of differentiation and, you know, and how they got to where they are. And I think that's where someone, that's one thing that someone can't replicate. It's, you know, your connection with your community and your customers. So really important to speak to that as well.
I love that so much, Taylor, because, you know, as I'm looking around the panel, first of all, female empowerment, secondly, diversity, right? Even though it seems like beauty is such an oversaturated space, like Olamide pointed out, there's not enough women who are truly owners of beauty brands. And it really, you know, nowadays, I think thanks to social media, thanks to technology, it has definitely paved way for many of us to be able to launch something that we're truly passionate about, something that either celebrates our heritage or solves a problem in the marketplace that currently exists. Now, my next question to the panel here is, oftentimes, you know, I love my family, I love my friends, but sometimes I feel like a lot of them don't necessarily understand everything that it takes to be an entrepreneur. So who do you surround yourself with that motivates you to prevent yourself from getting burnt out? Do you have any mentors? Are you friends with other girl bosses? Have you cultivated those communities?
I can jump in here, I guess. I actually think that's one of the most important things for a founder to do, is to like surround yourself with a really strong support network. That support network definitely comes from the personal community, that like personal friends that I have, but also it could also include your investors. So for example, we were super thoughtful in picking who our lead investor would be and the type of relationship we'd have. So one of my more tactical advices out there for any of you interested in entrepreneurship is, when you do pick your VC, also look at the partner that you're going to be working with, because that's going to be the person that you spend so much time with. And that person can also become your mentor and also a great cheerleader for you as well. Outside of that, just surrounding yourself with people that you look up to. And I think it could just be like a really open and vulnerable conversation of, hey, I've really admired you for so long. I'm in the process of building this. Here's my vision. Here's the storytelling that Taylor mentioned. And then you'd be surprised to see what, like who ends up getting on board with you and really wanting to support you. So one of the people that I looked up to a lot is Michelle Lee, who's the editor-in-chief at Allure. I asked for an intro from one of my friends to her, and when we met, it felt like instant chemistry. And at the very end of the call, I just straight up asked her, like, would you be my mentor? And
Wow.
Now she's an advisor in NEWNESS. So don't be afraid to ask either.
That is so awesome. Congratulations. We love Michelle. That's so cool. And what do you ladies like to do to prevent yourself from feeling burnt out? A lot of it is a 24/7 lifestyle. This is definitely a commitment. You know, growing a brand, a lot of my friends compare it to having babies. It's hard to just put a pause on something, especially with social media generation, and say, okay, give me a couple of days off, let me hop back into it. So are there any routines that you like to do, or any habits you formed over time to keep going and prevent yourself from feeling burnt out?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I can take that one. We started this brand kind of on the side in 2014, but we launched it in 2015. And also in parallel, my whole personal life also took off. I met my future husband, we got married and had kids. So I have 2 little toddlers at home, a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. And in the beginning, you're right, it is 24/7 and you don't stop. But there's one thing I did learn with, especially with kids, because you really don't have a choice, is you need to be very, very disciplined and set boundaries for yourself. And I think I'm completely misquoting Carolina Herrera because she grew an empire also. She was a working mom, but if you are disciplined, you really can achieve it all. So a few examples that I do is I carve out like no checking email time, blocks of time. And that's, from my 6:30 to 8:30 and a.m. and then 5 to 8 o'clock p.m. because those are my times that I need to get myself ready to get out the door, but I also need to get my kids ready to get out the door. And even though I do have a support system to help me with my kids, I am also need to be focused. So having that discipline of no checking emails, and it's just those times, and I can get back online afterwards, but I need to stay focused. And then there are other things I have to do for myself, like I need to go to bed early so that I wake up early, and I need to make sure I exercise and I eat well, but it's like being balanced. So those things help me become a better worker, a better employee, and I can contribute more for work, even though it may sound like it's a lot of, I can't work right now. It's, I can't work right now, but I can work later.
I love that, girl. And I speak from experience. In the beginning, when I first started my company, XYZ Media, I was putting 12 to 14-hour days. I wasn't working out. I wasn't taking care of my mental health. And it just got to the point where I wasn't productive anymore. And I almost, I almost wanted to quit because, again, I think in order to take care of any business, to grow it from the ground up, we have to first take care of ourselves, right?
Yes, and it's having that discipline and those boundaries in place that make it possible.
That is so awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to a few fan questions that we were able to vet from the chat room. The first one is, ladies, what's your advice for how and where to find the best people when you are expanding your team?
I can try to answer that. So there's a few ways or a few routes you can go. Obviously, the very traditional route would be using, an HR, an extension to your team, which can be an HR agency or an HR company that helps you source the best talent. Which we've used in the past, and essentially they kind of vet all of the talent for you. So let's say you have a job posting that's posted on a variety of different channels or platforms, and LinkedIn can be one of them, and there's a few others. And then they'll go through all of the resumes and making sure that they're best for the position, or they're best suited for the position. And then they have a little bit more of like a selected or a curated selection of talent for you to go through. Something that I've been doing recently, which is quite untraditional, but a friend of mine who has another company, a swimwear company, had done it, and she said she found a really amazing talent because they're from her community. So I actually, posted a few job postings on Instagram, and they were really just for like digital marketing positions, and it was a very, very broad, I guess kind of title. And I think I said something along the lines of, you love digital marketing and beauty, like, please DM me. And I wish I didn't say DM me, because like I had just like a flood of people messaging me with like all qualifications, like even like, and the best hearts, like I loved it because they genuinely love the brand. But what I've noticed over the past 7 years, or almost 8 years at NUDESTIX, is obviously skill set is so important, and experience is so important, and education. But one the things that we've noticed from our, current team is that passion for your brand. It's so hard to find someone who has such a, deep passion for your brand that will work essentially as hard as you, to build your baby. And I like to call it our baby because we truly treat it like our baby. I think Camila said, having a baby, a physical, like an actual baby, and then your baby, which is your brand, like that's two things that you're essentially raising. Like I feel for you, Camila, because I cannot imagine having children during this time. But I would say that was really successful because we had people apply that not only had, the skill set, but also had the passion and knew the brand so well. So a little bit more untraditional, but it really worked. So if you are looking for people, utilizing your community can be really helpful.
Right, utilizing community, social media, new apps like Clubhouse, get connected, right? Second question is, how important is it to have your own personal page as a founder? And how do you navigate your personal page versus your brand's page?
I can't answer that because I do not have my own personal page.
I know, I was trying to tag you earlier. I was like, where is she?
Yep, I don't have that bandwidth right now.
I got you.
I'll hop in.
Okay,
I don't, Taylor, you probably are much better at me to answer this question. I don't, and my friends actually get really mad at me because they're like, you need to repost these things that you're doing and, share these photos. But I think Camila's right. It's really hard to have the bandwidth to do both. And I think I give myself grace to like be online those days. And when I have things to share those things, but also being okay with like going ghost for a week or two and knowing that like, we have to deliver a presentation to Sephora. So I'm not going to be online for like 2 weeks trying to get this done. And so I think for me, I try to share a lot of the fun things that happen with Topicals. I think my personal page is probably just a fan page for Topicals. But I've also really started to go deep within myself and ask myself tough questions about just showing the good things. Because I think so many people are excited to cheer you on when the good things are happening, but it's really great to also be transparent with people and say like, today is not a good day. I tweeted something, I think 2 days ago, and I said, I look like what I've been through and it's not good. And like you said, it's not always, lashes and makeup and fun. Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes it's crying because, product got lost in the warehouse or, in transit, and you really needed that package to get to whoever you needed to get it to. So I think it's great to be transparent and to share your wins, but also some of the losses and failures that you have.
I love that so much, Olamide. And that's one thing that I've been challenging myself to do more of in 2021. I always think if we can glamorize and show some of the best moments, we have to be able to post about the lowlights and have a conversation of what it's like to actually be a female entrepreneur, right? Third question, is it better to be a direct-to-consumer brand or to be distributed in big box stores like Sephora, Nordstrom's? Also, what are the best strategies to become a great DTC company?
I can.
Okay, yeah, Taylor, go ahead. You go ahead. You've been here for longer than me, so you go ahead and
No.
experience.
I feel like I would love to hear what you have to say after, but I mean, yeah, I think I think now when people ask if they should start their business D2C versus launching brick and mortar or launching with a retailer, I kind of start by saying D2C only because in today's day and age, like when we launched NUDESTIX 8 years ago, direct consumer wasn't as productive, for lack of a better term, as it is today. People weren't shopping digitally as much digitally. People were going into stores and potentially going home, maybe researching on their computer and then buying online. But really it was that in-person brick and mortar experience, a little bit more traditional than it is now. I think COVID has definitely accelerated, the D2C experience. And also from a CapEx perspective, anyone who's launching a business and is looking to use one of the most, I think in my eyes, a very cost-effective way. Someone may say differently. I think D2C is the way to go because you have the ability to build your brand, build your community, and now you have really great kind of levers to pull, whether that's Shopify or social channels, that you can really build your brand without, paying. And for example, like with Sephora or Ulta or any other retailer, at least with our brand, we pay for merchandising. So if you have over 100,000 stores globally, you're paying for merchandising in every single store. And that's also a lot of inventory, right? Like if let's say you have a retail order and they order, I'm just going to say like 50,000 units or 100,000 units, that's a lot of that's a lot of product that you're also ordering from your manufacturer. So it's a lot of stock that you have in your warehouse essentially, which is really hard as a smaller brand to kind of invest in. So I would say direct to consumer is definitely the way to go at first, and then build your community, build your brand, have a really strong presence. And then once you've developed that, I would say, retailers will come to you, hopefully. And if they don't, definitely make those pitches, reach out, because once you have that community already digitally, they'll, go wherever you exist from a brick and mortar perspective. So if you do decide to launch any type of retail store, they'll flock, they'll come to you. So definitely D2C.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And just to add to that, Sol de Janeiro is a very sensorial brand, meaning that we're very scent driven and texture driven. So when we first launched the brand, we launched D2C, and being in store in a brick and mortar Sephora definitely catapulted us to the next level. But for sure, nowadays, you have to figure out how to win in DTC. And we're doing, thankfully, such a great job. We have a wonderful team with e-commerce, and you can sell fragrance and texture-rich products online. You just have to make sure you tell your story in a very compelling way. But I completely agree with Taylor. For us, it's how we've survived the last year, for sure.
I'd say I agree as well. And I'll just add one point to what Taylor was saying, is that people will flock to you once you've built that community. And then you also get to have more bargaining chips when you go out and say, hey, I don't actually want to split with you, 60-40, maybe let's do 55 or even 50-50. And you want to have those bargaining chips because every percent matters when you're selling in retail. And so you just want to make sure that you have a really strong brand, because as quickly as you can enter a retailer, you can get kicked out. And that's not great for your brand too if you get kicked out. And you have to, you've, like Taylor said, you've ordered all these units and now you have to sit on them and figure out how you're going to sell them direct to consumer. So be careful, because retail isn't always as cracked up as you want it to be. It's great when it's the right time for you, but it's not always the best thing to do right away.
I love that, ladies. What an incredible chat. I think some of the big takeaways are own your story, focus on storytelling, focus on building a community, especially being like a community-based beauty brand. Always put the community first. DTC is a way to go. Now, before I wrap up the segment, I would love to just quickly go down our panel here. Ladies, one sentence, one word of inspiration for all of our viewers who are watching, who are thinking about taking that leap from being a content creator to a brand owner. I'm going to start with Jenny.
Oh, one sentence. Let's see. I think just take the leap. There's a great support system out there, and there are going to be people that you connect with that is just going to magically understand your vision. And those are some of the best moments out there. Just trust that they do exist, and don't give up.
I love that. Stella?
I always say this, there's only one you, and there's so much beauty in that. Figure out how to inspire others through your products that way.
Camila?
Don't be afraid of the hard work that it takes to bring a brand to life, because it is blood, sweat, and tears. It is so hard. It is also so rewarding, and you won't win unless you take a risk.
Taylor?
Honestly, I don't know if I can match. Everyone said such incredible things. I would say, honestly, just be authentic to you. I would say just work. Don't be afraid of putting in the work. And like Camila said, I would kind of echo that. Like, don't be afraid to put in the work and not see results right away, because it takes time. And no brand, I'm telling you, is an overnight success story. It's always many years in the making. So don't look at social media and say, oh my God, all of these, influencers creators or individuals are starting brands and they're super successful. It was a lot of work in the making. So, take it with a grain of salt and trust the process and be patient.
So good. Last but not least, Olamide.
I feel like I may be a bit poetic here because I live by this phrase: feel the fear and do it anyway. Everything that you want is on the other side of fear.
I love that.
So powerful. And on that note, thank you ladies so much for your time. Thank you to Rare Globo team for having me here. You guys make sure to follow everyone, follow all of our speakers. And I'm gonna toss it back to Ashley and Vania. Bye.
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 Thank you.